I got to ask you last time, is that an elk head hanging behind you? And is it one that you have slain by yourself?
Yes and yes.
That's amazing. Guys, if you didn't know, Drew hunts elk, and it's amazing. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, so that guy's from Colorado. And then this is a white-tailed deer holding up my dream board. A white-tailed deer from Saskatchewan, Canada.
That's amazing.
It's a lot of fun. That's how I recharge. Get away, unplug, get in the woods, and just be quiet.
Guys,
are you a bow hunter or do you use a gun?
Great question. Both.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
My family, I'm from rural Ohio. So they have like rooms, their house is just like full of deer mounts. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been relegated to my office with my mounts.
it's very classy though.
It is, but I would love this guy out in our 2-story great room. I mean, but no, that's been shot down. It's okay. I'll have a bigger man cave someday.
Guys, fun fact, when Drew came in for his orientation, I haven't met someone who hunts in like a really long time. So I was like, Drew, I need to see immediately what your hunting outfit is. Like, please tell me it's like full camo, net over your face. I was really disappointed because camo has really updated with the times, and it's a lot more fashionable and chill these days than I thought it was going to be. So
it's not your grandpa's old camo anymore.
It's not. I'm pretty sad about it, to be honest. I'm still waiting for Drew. What are those called when it's like 100%? Like you have a net over your face and
the ghillie suit.
Ghillie suit.
Yeah.
It would just make my day.
There's a few guys out there who do that. It's absurd, but
would you ever wear a ghillie suit, Drew?
When I'm paintballing, sure. But I don't see a need for it when you're hunting animals.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we are 4 minutes in. I think we are safe to get started. So thank you for coming to New Agent Training. I'm really glad you guys are here. This is a really sad and depressing Monday, and the fact that you guys woke up and showed your faces on Zoom means a lot. So thanks for being here. So this starts us off on 2 weeks of agent training. So a lot of our sessions will be at 9 a.m. So you're gonna have to get up 1 hour earlier normally. And tomorrow it's on lending. Larry Nutt, a good friend and lender here in the Indianapolis community, will be here teaching us about the lending process. But today we have Drew Tomasik. Drew, when did you join us? It's been like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months maybe?
January.
Jeez.
Yeah.
4 months. 4.5 months. Yeah, it really does. Yes, Drew joined us as of January, but has been in real estate for 6 years?
Yep.
7 years.
6 years. 6 years.
6 years. Okay. 6 years. Drew, can you give us a little introduction about yourself? Who are you? How'd you get into real estate? Can you tell us a little bit about your family and such?
Sure. So I've been in real estate for 6 years. I've been to different cities and ultimately ended up here at Platt, and I'm so glad I did. You guys are doing some awesome stuff in the city, great community, and I'm excited to be just part of that movement here in the city. I'm mostly up here on the north side, up in the suburbs, so I'm trying to pull that community and that impact up here. But I've done quite a bit of business downtown, Fountain Square, Bates Hendricks, Old North Side, Broad Ripple, that whole area. Let's see, family. Let's see, I've got married, 3 kids, boy, girl, boy, 7, 5, and 3. And if you hear them, it's because they are home. They, my youngest and middle got sick like back-to-back days. So last night was a little rough for me. We were up every 2 hours with my daughter, so I'd appreciate
Oh,
if I'm
Drew.
stumbling with my words, just give me some patience. That's why I've got my coffee.
Oh, that's so brutal. Can you tell us the names? What's your wife's name? And then what are your 3 kids' names?
Yep, my wife is Erica. We've been married 13 years.
Woo woo.
Yeah, 13 years. It's fun. My oldest is Micah. He's 7. Aubrey is 5, and then Gabriel is 3. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, they're fun. Balls of energy. I wish I could like capture that energy, excess energy, and like power my house or something. That'd be just so cool.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So guys, Drew is here to talk to us about open houses today. He built his business off of open houses. And so I'm gonna shut up for a while and just let him talk to you guys kind of about his experience and what he's learned along the way. And then towards the end, we will open up for questions. So Drew, without further ado, back over to you, sir.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you for asking me to speak on open houses. It's an honor and privilege to be able to talk to you guys this morning. As Rosie mentioned, I did start my career in real estate for 2 years, the first 2.5, 3 years of my business. That's basically all I did is open houses, really 2 open houses every Sunday for 2 to 3 years. Now I'm mostly referral based, but I'm actually still closing deals from people that I picked up on 6 years ago in open houses. So big takeaway, follow-up is key. Never stop follow-up until they tell you to stop. Even if it's 6 months, 12 months down and you haven't heard from them, just keep calling. Hey, this is Drew. Just checking in. If you need anything, I'll call you next week. Okay. So anyway, I'll get to that. That's part of my follow-up. So follow-up is key. That's how I built my business. All right. So I do want to ask a question before I dive in. How many on here? Who's the phone number? Come on. 317-490-9350. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Just put your name on there.
I got some stuff I got to do, so I'm on my phone.
Well done. Well done. I appreciate
Who is that?
Who is that?
It's Courtney.
Hi, Courtney.
Hi,
I
friend.
love it.
Thanks for joining, Courtney. That we have an iPhone. Thanks, iPhone person. Anyway, question. I would love to hear y'all's answers. What is the purpose of an open house? Just jump in. Hey, iPhone. Aaron. Oh, no, iPhone's still iPhone. All right, open house. What is the purpose of an open house?
Hopefully bring a buyer to your own listing. Would be my hope.
Yeah.
Opportunity for more people to see the home.
Yeah. Having a me and me would be awesome. Finding a buyer. Yeah. What else?
Could be an opportunity to get some new clients if there are people who are at the open house who are not represented yet by an agent.
Yep. Absolutely.
Cool.
All right, Courtney.
Yeah, just to meet potential new buyers in the area, because a lot of times they're not buying that house.
Yeah.
That you're showing.
Yeah. Very nice. Let's do one more. I love silence, so I could sit here all day if you hadn't known already. There's a chat. Opportunity to publish and promote to get your information out there. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. I'll try to keep that up and pay attention to it. So a lot of good answers, but the number one purpose for an open house, as you're holding the open house open, regardless of whether it's your listing or not, the purpose of the open house is for you to get more people into your database. It's not to sell the home. It's not to necessarily get your name out there and get notoriety. That does help with directional signs and the open house sign, but it's for you to add people to your database. That's the purpose. So with that in mind, we need to find, at least how I went about finding an open house is I wanted to find an open house or a home that I felt good standing in. It wasn't a dump. It was a price point that I was either comfortable with or wanted to go to, and it was easily accessible. So, and I just ran through my whole first part here. So start with the price point that you're comfortable with. Who all on here, is everybody less than a year in the business on this call? Mostly?
The exception of Kelly and
Okay.
Phil. Yes,
Okay,
I think so. Maybe John.
cool. So mostly newer.
I'm approaching 2 years in September.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Thank you, John. Starting point would be an open, like price point. What price point are you comfortable with? Starting out, I was freaked out getting in front of these people. What do I do? So I was like, all right, I'm going to start in a price point I'm comfortable with. So that was, at the time, that was maybe in the 200s, 250 to maybe 3. And I just did that for probably 6 months till I got really comfortable, got my spiel down, and learned how to interact and wasn't clammy all the time. And then I was like, all right, I want to up my average price point. How can I do that? Well, I can start holding more expensive open houses. It gets to a point around like 657. It's not necessarily worth holding open houses. I found my sweet spot to be kind of like that 350 to 556. Once I really got into that groove, kind of a year to 2 years into holding open houses. All right. Which open house? Start with the price point you're comfortable with, or as you get more experience, go to the higher price points to increase your average sales price. Easy access. We don't want a home that needs 7 directionals to get to. It needs to be easily accessible. 3 or fewer directional signs. Like if it's in a neighborhood, 3 or fewer directional signs, but then like outside of the area, like in Broad Ripple, there is no given neighborhoods that all the streets are everywhere. So it's pretty easily, if you're in Broad Ripple or anywhere downtown, quite frankly, I want to set up like 7 or 8 directional signs in addition to the sign in the yard pointing them in, just to get the broadcast of, hey, here's my name, because I have pre-printed my own open house signs and directionals with my group name and the arrow. So people see my name, they're like, oh man, this guy's everywhere. Especially starting out, you're like, yeah, so I am everywhere. Well, at least my open house signs are. But people don't know that. They just see your sign everywhere. I think, oh, gives you some more credibility. And then I also look at the photos of the home. Again, the house represents you. So again, you don't want a shabby house. You want something that has, at least the pictures look very well maintained. The exterior, the interior photos are mostly updated. It's not junky. It's not falling apart. There's no real maintenance issues. It looks good. It would be something that you would feel confident that represents who you are. And that's mostly neutral colors, in my opinion. So you're wanting people who are take us photos photos are the best way to get people into a house. If they're good looking photos, they're going to come in the house. If they're iPhone photos, people might still come through the house, but they're going to have a negative impression of the house before they get there. So I tend not to hold open houses that have like iPhone photos taken, because that's not a good representation. So that's how you find a house. Good price points, easily accessible. You can put out a ton of directionals, and then it just looks good. It's a good representation of yourself. Next, how do you host an open house? Well, make sure you do a little bit of research. What school system is it? What elementary school? Where is it? What's the middle school, high school? People are always going to ask. And then always bring 10 to 15 listing sheets with you to pass out to people. I've got on one side, make it the nice marketing color side. On the back side, I always print the listing sheet with all the info, not the agent listing sheet. I put the consumer listing sheet, because they don't, if it's not my listing starting out, I didn't hold my own listings open because I didn't have any. So I was holding open other agents' listings. I didn't need them calling the listing agent. I wanted them to call me. Make it on cardstock. Don't give them flimsy standard printer paper. Make that cardstock. Again, it's representing who you are, your business. And then I would always bring a list of a stack of the homes. 6 years ago, the stack was a lot thicker than it is today. But bring a list of the homes that are for sale. So let's say you're holding open a $200,000 home. Run a search on the MLS within a mile radius of 150 to 250. That way, because people are coming in at 200, maybe they're actually at 150 and like, oh, I wonder what $200,000 looks like. Maybe some people are like looking at the 250 mark, are like, oh, this could use some TLC updating. Maybe we could make it our own. So you could capture that client by showing the whole range. That you're not just pigeonholed into the 200,000. You're trying to give them options. And then when somebody comes to the door, always try to greet them at the door. Greet them, shake their hand, bump them, elbow bump, whatever you want to do in this time. But ask for their names. I always carry around a let's see if I can find it, journal. I can't find it. Something like this. I always carry around a journal with me. It's always in my hand as I'm walking around the house. And because while I'm walking around the house, I'm trying to have conversations with people. But first, let me back up. First, when they come in, greet them. Thanks for coming. What brings you by? Are you looking to buy a house, or do you live in the neighborhood? Don't give them another option. You looking to buy, or you live in the neighborhood? And they'll answer. And then ask for their name. Like, oh, what's your name? I need to keep track of who's in the house. I don't have them. You can use like apps, like Open Home Pro, I think is another one out there that people use. I tried that. It was just too cumbersome at the time. I know it's been updated a few times since, but I like old school. I can take notes pretty easily. And then after you give them the listing sheet, walk away. Don't follow them. Walk away. Kind of play hard to get, because they're expecting you to bombard them with questions, bombard them, be with them, but don't be the opposite agent of what they're used to. So greet them at the door and then walk away. So if there's if they're going to go turn right into a bedroom, you go left, go away, go swoop back to the kitchen. And then as they're coming out, go into a different room, you meet up with them again. So you're just basically walking circles in the house. That's all you're doing. As they come out, you ping them with a question. So, where are you guys from? So, what's important to you in this next house? Tell me more about that. Don't let it stop there. Tell me more about that is a great continuation of the conversation. Why is that important to you? And then shut up. Don't lead them with questions like an attorney. Just, why is that important to you? And shut up. Let them talk. Because people don't want to be hounded. People want their own space, but they will answer a question as you're passing by. So yeah, some good questions are, what's causing you guys to look? What's important in the next house? Tell me more about that. What do you think of the kitchen? Is this something that you guys could see yourself in, or how's the floor plan of this house? Is this the layout that you're looking for? Just trying to get more information. And as like, you want to pepper pertinent information questions like that with personal questions. Oh, where are you guys from? Have you always been here? Oh no, we're from Illinois. Oh, we're in Illinois. Just ask personal and business related questions. Help build some rapport rather than just hounding them with questions. And then as they leave, I always try to, again, I'm making my rounds so I can tell where people are in the process of looking at the house. So I'm starting to make my way back towards the front door and thank them for coming as they're leaving. I want to ask, hey, what'd you guys think of the house? I've got my notebook. What'd you guys think of the house? I'd love to give some feedback to the sellers. Boom, they're giving feedback. I'm taking down some notes. Awesome. Oh, step back. As I'm asking these questions, as they're walking through, why are you looking to move? Oh, we're wanting to grow family, or we've outgrown our current place. Okay, so I'm gonna need more space, need larger home. Oh, all right. What kind of home do you guys look for? What do you want? 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, basement? Okay, you want 3 bedrooms minimum with a basement. Cool. So I'm getting essentially the matrix criteria for a home that they want without sitting down. Hey, I would love to create a search for you. Tell me exactly what you want in the house. Now, I'm not doing that all at once. I peppered it through conversation. But as they're leaving, you're getting their feedback on the open house. You say, well, you got to ask for the business. You're not going to get their contact information. You're not going to connect with the buyers if you don't ask. So how would you ask? Thanks for stopping by today. You know what? This is a really hard market out there, and speed of information is key to finding something. If you guys aren't working with a realtor, I would love to walk you guys through that buying process and help you find something. My search, I could create a personalized home search for you guys that's updated every 15 minutes. How's that sound to you? Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, we've been looking on Zillow, and I mean, we went to this open house and it wasn't even open, and it looks like this sold. We're just so overwhelmed. Awesome. I'd love to help you guys. All right, what's your last name? Awesome. What's a good cell phone, email? And then if you're missing some of that search criteria information, this is when you would ask for it. All right, so this house is listed at 200,000. What price range do you guys think you want to look at? Oh, you know what? I think 200,000 is probably on the low end. I think we want to go up to 3. Okay, cool. So how about I create the search for 200 to 300, knowing as we get closer to your timeline, we need to tighten that up because that's a pretty wide range of homes. Speaking of timeline, when do you want to be in that next house? That gives you a sense of urgency, or helps them realize their sense of urgency, but gives you a, not benchmark, a way to and reason to follow up. If somebody's 6 months out, I'm going to ping them once a month. If somebody wants to be in their new place in 60 to 90 days, I'm touching base with them every week. Does that make sense? Okay. And so then the open house ends, that's Sunday. On Monday, for everybody that you connected with, got their contact info, wants a home search, create it on Monday. You want to be quick, so you create it on Monday and then send them a text. Say, hey, just want to let you know I created your personalized home search. The subject is your next home, or your first home, whatever you want to call it. Always, I put their last name, colon, your next home. That way, when I get the emails, because I have it set up on, not concierge, but I BCC myself, because I want to be on top of stuff too. That way I know, okay, this is the Smiths, here's the Johns, here's the Kleibers, as opposed to 15 people with the same subject of your next home. It can help me filter in my email address. And then on Tuesday, reach back out, shoot them a quick text. Hey, this is Drew again. Want to follow up and make sure the search is working. Do I need to make any changes? Boom. And then Thursday or Friday, follow up again. Hey, this is Drew. Weekend's coming up. I want to see if there's anything that has hit the market that you want to take a look at. And I would make that a phone call. Make that one a phone call. And then my follow. So that's my follow-up system. Mondays, create the search, let them know you did it. Tuesday, follow up. Hey, is the search working? Do we need to make any changes? And then every Thursday and Friday is client follow-up. Hey, are there any changes we need to make, or are there any homes you want to see this weekend? And even if people don't pick up, as I said at the beginning, just keep following up. I can't tell you how many deals I've closed over the years where they ghosted me for a year. I just kept following up. So after 3 months of not hearing people, I'll move them from a 1 week or 2 week follow-up to 3 to 4 weeks. After 6 months of no word from them, I'll move them to like every 6 weeks. Every 4 to 6 weeks, I'll follow up with people, just pinging them. Hey, it's Drew. Need any changes? Thought of you. Hey, saw this home, matches your criteria. Just keep following up, and then they'll reach out when they're ready. Close so many deals because of that. Follow up is key. That's it. That's my outline. Kind of flew through that. I'd love to hear any questions or whatnot.
Yeah. What have you seen as the best way for you to keep track of your clients? Are you using like an Excel spreadsheet? Is it
So
on-
starting out, sorry, Austin. Okay. So yeah, starting out, Excel spreadsheet, 100%. Got overwhelming with the number of people. It was a goal of mine to collect or connect with like 2 or 3 people every open house. That was my goal. Many open houses, I would get 8, but I can't tell you how many months I would go with 0. So it averaged out to like 2 or 3 per open house. So don't be, you will be discouraged, but no, that's normal. You'll have a ton of people for a few open houses in a row, and then you'll probably go a month or 2 without anybody saying, yeah, we'd love to use you. Yeah, here's what the search we want. Anyway, so I got overwhelmed and switched over to, anybody heard of Buffini and Company? Yeah, so I've been subscribed to the Buffini and Company, their CRM and their training program, marketing program for 5 years, 5 of my 6 years. I like their CRM, but any CRM would do, as long as you can take notes, keep track of the people, sort them and organize them like A's, B's, and C's and D's. I put like my lenders and my contractors in the D's, just so I know who I've referred them to. I can make that connection. Yeah. Good question. What else?
Drew, I'm curious, as you're like continuing to follow up with these people, do you ever get people who are like, leave me the hell alone? And then what do you do in that situation?
Have I ever had that? That's always a fear. I've
For sure.
always had that fear of, oh, they haven't picked up in a year. Oh, I don't want to call. Oh, but it's on my to-do list today. Oh, I hope they don't pick up. So I'll call. They won't pick up. So I think I've had maybe one person that was mean, and that might even not be true. That's probably just a story in my head. In reality, I've probably never had somebody tell me to F off or get out of here, stop calling me. If anybody is like, hey, stop calling, it's because they say, hey, thanks for the follow-up. We actually bought a house last year. Thanks for the follow. We actually just got under contract with a house. It's like, okay, congratulations. Boom. Yeah, that's what happens.
Do you keep them in your database still? Do you still reach out, once a year? Like, how does that work?
No, I won't reach out to those people anymore. If they didn't use me, I'm moving on. I'll leave them in as like a C, so they still get my email, my monthly email. But no, I'm not making any phone calls to those people. Yeah, good question. What else?
Can you tell me the name of that CRM again, or maybe type it in? Sorry, I'm driving and I'm trying to listen. So.
Yeah, I can't spell Buffinium either.
Buffini and Company.
Thank you, Buffini. Got it.
Referral Maker CRM.
Yeah, guys, if you're not familiar with Buffini, it's a whole program of real estate training and coaching and development. So it's good stuff if you want to look into it. I think it's there are a lot of like really cheesy training and coaching. I think Buffini, out of every real estate training and coaching I've seen, is much more relationship based and deals with actually making relationships rather than just like cold calling or whatever. I think it would definitely fit into Platt culture easier than other training and coaching systems.
And there's a podcast that they have, the Brian Buffini podcast. Brian Buffini is the owner. I should be getting paid off of this for them. Brian Buffini is the owner. They're the largest coaching company in North America, according to them. I've really enjoyed them. Their whole shtick is need to work by referral. However you can get there, work by referral. They help you grow your network. They give you, the mayor campaign speech. Mayors go around kissing babies and shaking hands. So it's essentially doing the same thing as a realtor. Hey, I'm Drew Tomasik. Nice to meet you. Do you have anybody who's looking to buy or sell? Now, I've backed off of, I was never fully into their strategy of you got to ask for a referral every time. That's not who I am. But it's worked for so many people. So I've taken a lot of their information, a lot of their training. I've just adapted it to my style, my personality. But absolutely, like client events, I'm going to stop. That's a whole different rabbit trail. Yeah, check out Brian Buffini and Company, their podcast, their CRM. They've got some really good trainings as well. I think there's like an essentials training is something brand new that they did. Would be a good new agent training.
Drew, do you ever bring like snacks, drinks, to your open house? What's your setup?
Great question. No, waste of money. Especially starting out, I was like, I don't have the money to buy water and cookies and brownies and all this stuff. So and then even now it's like, no, people don't really care. I mean, it's nice. And I know some people do that, but that's not how I roll. And I was very successful without bringing food to the open house. Yeah. Because people are going to do business with me because of me and my expertise and me developing a rapport with them, not because I brought some freaking awesome cookies to the open house.
Do you find that one day or time is better than others? Or do you have an opinion on that?
Oh, great question. It's always slow during Colts games. But the people who do come through are typically more serious. A time of day? No, there's not one that's better than another. I've done them, 12 to 2, 1 to 3, or 2 to 4, 3 to 5. I've tried them all. They were all really good. It mostly depended on the time of year and the weather, quite frankly. Like if today was a Sunday, not many people would necessarily come through. You'd probably get a handful, but they're more serious. So it's like, what do you want? Do you want more serious buyers, potential clients, or do you want a bunch of people that you have to sift through to find the 1 or 2 people that want to work with you?
Got it. Thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's a numbers game. Just like any business, it's always a numbers game. You got to put in your dues, got to get all the rejections to get to the yeses. Don't take it personal. They will say no. You'll get a lot of no's, but the yeses are worth it.
Drew, this is similar to my first question, but I love your idea of walking around with a notebook and asking people for their information. That feels way more organic than like a sign-in sheet.
Mm-hmm.
When you're asking people at the end for like, hey, would you like an automated search, or you're trying to get that in contact information, how do you, if they're like, you know what, no, like, do people say no, or do they most often say yes because you're right in front of them asking for it? Like, can you talk through that interaction a little bit? And if it goes south, how do you pivot?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the majority of people say no. The majority of people say no. A lot of them lie. So I got bold eventually, like, oh, thanks. No, thanks. We're actually working with the realtor. Oh, awesome. Who are you using? Ready to write it down. I forget. Bullshit. All right. Thanks for coming by. Have a great day, guys. If they're gonna lie to me, do you really want to work with them? So, but if they say no, thanks, no thanks, you just let them move on. Again, it's a numbers game. You will get yeses. You'll get way more no's than yeses. And just know that you have to go through the no's to get yeses. And the more consistently you can do the open houses, the better you get with your presence in the open house, the better you get at asking questions, the better you get at quickly building rapport with people. And the more people will start to say yes. Yeah. So I will say, it seems like like this time of year, kind of spring market, summer market, you can pick up a handful of clients. I would say by late summer, most people are already teamed up with a realtor at that point. Fall and winter is where I would pick up quite a few clients, quite a few open house leads, because holidays, what agent wants to work during the holidays? So if you can get out there November, December, January in the nasty weather, don't do it on the holiday weekend. That's just nonsense. But any other time during kind of October, November, December, January, yeah, a lot of agents take their foot off the gas pedal, stop doing as much marketing because maybe they're at a comfortable spot in their business. They don't need to generate more business, and you can be out there capturing those leads because people at that point are starting to think about buying a house in the next year. And if you follow up with them, that you're in a really good position to convert them into a client.
That's so good, Drew. Yeah, no, it's amazing. Guys, any final questions for Drew? Okay. Well, Drew, thank you. That was so perfect. Guys, tomorrow, 9 a.m., Larry Nutt will be here with his mullet to be speaking to all of you. Hope you can make it. And then I actually can't remember when. It might be as soon as this Wednesday. We have a couple of in-person sessions happening during this training session as well. So I'll make sure I'll give you advance notice, but hope to see you in person sometime soon as well. So have a good one, everyone. Enjoy this horrible rainy Monday.
Thanks,
Adios.
guys.